Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here. And this is Adrian's weather forecast, of course, and we're going to be doing another weather update here. This time is actually going to be a U.S. forecast. I have not done one ever since really getting to 2020, not longer. Not that I know of other than the monthly forecast, but wow, it's been a really long time. We've been busy with snowstorms, severe weather, monthly forecast and all of that, so I haven't really had time. But again, we're gonna have a major warm-up to come throughout really the 2/3 of the mainland US, so definitely be seeing a huge warm-up and starting to feel spring temperatures possibly 10 days to 15 days before we even get close to spring on March 21st. And again, I want to start seeing 70s throughout a week and a half from now. So we're definitely starting to see a potential early spring to come in the east like we expected. We expected to see a late spring come into especially the northeastern Great Lakes, but it looks like we're definitely getting some 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way up into the mid 80s down to Florida. So again, be sure to subscribe, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, I do daily weather forecasts. I'll have a couple more updates on this huge warm up to come, and it's gonna really last a very long time. But again, also be sure to share the channel. But without further ado, let's get in this video. So we're going to be looking at the NOAA 6 to 10 day outlook, then the 8 to 14 day outlook, then we'll look at the temperature anomalies for both models, GFS and European. So again, we're going to be focusing on the heat, not the cold airs here. Again, the cold air will mainly stay in the Pacific Northwest. But look at this really, really warm ridge. As you can see here, we're having the ridge developing mainly across what we saw really in December, where it split up before it even got past central United States. So we saw really a huge area, like 2/3 of America, really getting up here into the heat. And again, it's also going to go all the way out there into the eastern Canada area. So there's no really open window for any Arctic air to come. And you're probably wondering, why doesn't it come through here? Again, we have the ridge keeping it in here. Okay, so again, here we're going to be seeing the we could be seeing up to 33% chance of above average to a 80% chance again. And the 80% chance we'll basically be seeing right here in the 60 to 80% chance range, which is in the red and the light red. That's where we can be seeing a really good chance for seeing some spring temperatures. Could get incredibly warm. These areas can be seeing 10 to 20 degrees above average. Could start seeing some 70s and mid 70s, maybe even 80s, and all the way near Louisiana. So again, guys, we are not even close to April yet, and we are going to start seeing major warm fronts to come. And then we have the scattered airs in between the 33 to 60% chance of above average temperatures, and from the light yellowish color to orange, that's what we'll be seeing some above average temperatures. Not going to be as big of a chance, and it's not going to be seeing huge temperature differences, except actually from the 1 to 3 day outlook, which is not a thing on NOAA, but on the 1 to 3 day outlook, it would probably be a 90 to 100% chance for above average in these areas, and you'll be seeing why very soon. And again, really the warm air stretch all the way back into Nevada, so really almost a cross country system or warm front. Really, as we get closer into March 20th, now this ridge will possibly expand a bit more. Again, like I said, sometimes this ridge, or I haven't said that yet, but again, sometimes this ridge could possibly open up a little bit, bringing in whatever cold air we have. And then again, we have the pocket of warm air, and that's not going to come down. Actually, it's going to actually do the opposite, and it's going to actually scoop up like that, or even be pushed eastward. So that's why we're basically seeing the worst of the heat moving east every single time. And now we have this 70 to 80% chance into the mid-Atlantic now in Ohio Valley. That's where we'll be seeing the best chance for seeing above average temperatures. And it's definitely start seeing feeling the temperature difference there. And the 60-70% chance again, still a really good chance seeing above average temperatures, and I feel like we could be seeing the longest lasting heat in those areas. And then for the scattered other 3 layers, from 33% to 60% chance, again, still a decent chance for seeing above average temperatures. And again, not going to be as long lasting, but again, you could possibly just see slightly above average temperatures, maybe 5 to 8 degrees. But as you get more into the east United States, eastern U.S., we'll start to see a big difference here, temperature wise compared to average. And this is where you guys are going to see what I mean about the 1 to 3 day outlook, where it can be a 90 to 100% chance above average if it was a thing. If we looked at it last week, you would definitely see how crazy it would be. But look at this huge warm front again. It's not even all the way processed yet, because again, we're seeing below average temperatures from the previous cold front right now, and it's still not over. So we need to really enjoy it. I know it's really windy from this major pocket right here with the bomb cyclonic system. I know it's really windy, but enjoy the cold air if you like it, because we have a huge, and I mean really big cluster of warm air. Look at what we're seeing right now. We're seeing up to 17 degrees below above average. Again, this is in the far northern parts, and March could possibly be the coldest month in these areas and snowiest month in these areas. But again, still, that's still really high compared to these areas. So let's say 20 degrees is their normal high. Let's say now it's going to be closer to 40 degrees. So again, even seeing this warm air here into the west coast, I know you guys saw how it's going to be below average. Again, that's the 6 to 10 day outlook, so it's not going to be from right now, but that'll be more of a Sunday thing. But look at Sunday now. Look at tomorrow, or sorry, not tomorrow, Sunday. Look at this, reaching 20 degrees above average and starting to get into a bit warmer places now, like here into the Ozarks. You guys start to see big change in temperatures out here when it comes to getting closer to spring. Also the Four Corners, and look at this right here, reaching 20 degrees above average, and this is definitely going to cause a lot of issues for maybe seeing a big growth in plants early, maybe some snow or ice lakes. You guys are definitely be seeing those start to melt quite at a fast rate. Look at this. Look how interesting this is. We have cold air surrounding this whole thing, which is super incredible. But somehow this thing manages to get the power and stay alive. Because look, this thing's surrounded either way. Like, look at this major cold front right here. It's huge. Like, we're going to be seeing a huge cold front out here into the Caribbean. I've actually never seen anything like this, being surrounded completely by cold air and still not diminishing whatsoever. And look, it's actually going to get a bit more widespread. And that's actually quite cool how it can actually do that with all the pressure of having cold air surrounding it, and actually has to do with the thing with the ridge coming in place this Tuesday. That's where we're entering that 6 to 10 day range, getting closer and closer. So starting to see the ridge pushing a bit more to the west, keeping that cold air there, and then bringing a little pocket for some warmer to sneak in. And I believe so. Yeah, you're gonna see it start to sneak in throughout much of Canada. So looks like the warmest day will be around Wednesday. Almost 100% of mainland U.S. will be above average. And then look, we have another huge, and I mean huge warm front to come, but that's closer than the March 14th. And as we get closer to that, we'll talk about that. But again, it looks like we'll have a huge warm up and then maybe a major cold front. But again, we've been seeing this type of as we get to the end of models, the model runs, they always say huge cold fronts never happen. Happened in November, December, and January. I don't think it happened last month, but looks like it's showing the same thing, as especially November showed a huge cold front at the end of November, where it was at the end of its forecast run, and when the time came, it never happened. So not going to get encouraged for a cold start to April. But again, I would not complain, because again, my average for April is probably like 60s, so wouldn't be too bad. See some 50s before we get into then May, and that's when it gets hot. But again, as we get in the next 6 hours, again, we are starting to see a really huge warm up. We're at 12 to 16 degrees above average, which is quite crazy already. The next 24 hours, the heat does not get any better, actually crossing the 20 degree above average limit again. We're seeing this is not the point we'll see all the cold air around it, and actually GFS not show it. It actually shows it getting a lot worse Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So could be seeing an extra day of heat, especially out there into the northeast mid-Atlantic. You guys, like I said, could be seeing 8 to potentially 12 degrees above average. And then by later into Friday of next week, so basically a week from now, we're going to be seeing a huge difference from now on to next week. Almost the whole country will be getting above average temperatures. And then we have not a potential major cold front, but a big significant cold front again. You know that happens. You know that means that's going to bring a strength of the warm front, and then we're just going to see this warmer just gotta just stay out here into the east. It's not like we're having anything push it whatsoever. We're not having this cold air push it whatsoever. I guess just from all the warmth out here into the in the Atlantic, it's not moving out. But again, it's just going to be incredibly warm, man. I know I'm really scared that if this pattern continues and these oceans stay really, really warm, that we could be seeing an early start to hurricane season or a little bit of action. But again, both models are showing a huge cold front at the end of the model run. Just look at that. That's a huge November-like cold front. But again, that's really it. And I guess we have time to look at the real-time temperatures. I've actually not looked at that yet. But I guess we'll take a look at this. So again, let's take a look at what we saw last weekend. We saw some single digits moving in out here last week, and maybe some, as you can tell, a bit of a warm up. We've seen some teens 6 hours ago, but let's see how warm it'll get. Look at this. We're gonna be seeing some 60s and 50s in the areas that were in teens almost 2 days ago. We're gonna start seeing some southern-like weather patterns. Look, seeing 66, close to 70 degrees, guys, in South Dakota in March. That's incredibly warm. Like, it's warmer in South Dakota than areas in Florida at that time. You know how rare that is to see in March. And again, we'll start seeing again the below average temperatures heading into night. Look at the cold front out here into the areas near Ontario and getting closer into far eastern Canada up to negative 30 degrees. But look at this, starting seeing this warm front getting a bit more widespread as we get mid next week, seeing these mid 70s getting close to 80s, guys. This is incredible, a huge jump. Looking at it, it's almost 80 degrees out here for much of Texas. Gonna start seeing some nice 60s and 70s coming in Georgia, and we can possibly see up close to 90 in Florida already. Seeing some 90s in southern Texas. Like, this is quite crazy, and it's gonna start getting a lot more widespread. Look at this, seeing some 60s, 40s out there, and then into the areas into the mid-Atlantic and Midwest. Look at this, 86 for Savannah. I don't think it gets to 86 in Savannah at this early whatsoever. Again, this is first day of spring, but wow, look at this, 80 degrees in Virginia, March 22nd. Can you believe that? That's just a huge jump, guys. Like, I think we're gonna start seeing an early start to summer. Just say summer already. Wow, these are summer temperature, guys. I don't get to 86 until May. Like, that's incredible. So, wow, just a huge warm-up. And I'm actually getting quite happy at the same time, but disappointed that it's getting to an end of quite a interesting, boring, and fun winter. But again, guys, this could possibly be the last cold air we'll be seeing this winter. And we probably won't be seeing cold fronts coming in until spring, because look, this is March 22nd. So, it's sad to say, guys, but we can possibly say we've reached the end of winter, even though we are still up to around 15 days out until we get to spring officially. But it's really sad to say, but guys, I think winter of 2019 and 2020 has ended. All the hype and all that was not worth it and all that. But again, it's just sad to say that. But bye, guys.